Hey everybody, it's Doug here, Doug Mystic on Board Game Geek, bringing you our playthrough, our first actual session of Big Trouble in Little China. Now, in the last episode, I did a bit of an unboxing, talked about the game a little bit, but in this one, we're going to go over some rules real quick. I'll try not to spend too much time on them. I'll tell you how we're going to play the game, and I've got almost the entire board set up. We'll do a couple of little setup things just to help everybody see where this goes, and then we're going to get started, and we'll probably do our first turn. This first video might be particularly a little bit long, but that's okay because I want to make sure you guys got a grasp of it, and a lot of it we'll just continue on as we play. We'll get on to certain things. So this should be a heck of a lot of fun. I'm super excited, guys, and let's get going. So what do we got? We got the big game board in front of us, and you see that we have our heroes already placed. They start in the Dragon of the Black Pool in basically the dining room there. And we're going to first go over quickly our characters and who we're going to be playing, and their special ability, etc., etc. Let's check them out. First up is good old Jack Burton. Well, so anyway, guys, at level 1, that you see that they have level 1 ability. That's this right here. We're going to talk about that. Here is Jack's board. You can see that all characters start with 10 health and 0 chi. That means they didn't start because I'm playing a 4-player game. So there's no experience. Now if we played a 3-player game, 2-player game, we might already have some chi. Chi is experience. Now we're going to roll our dice and we're going to take action. So if I roll this, that gives me a spirit, well, this gave me one of each, a body, spirit, and mind. Now Jack likes body. Body is really good for him. You can see he's got 3 highlighted spots. Those are epic dice. So if I slot something there, I'm going to get a bonus. And that, you know that by the action that we can take, and we'll go over the actions in a minute, but you can see the normal slot and epic slot thing there. That's what that means, okay? So when we have something like this, that means we're going to be able to place one here, and one here. That's not that great because we're only going to get the 1 epic die, and we can use these for other things. Now, the slot doesn't determine the action. It just determines how effective your dice are, right? Now, there are skill checks where that might be important. But anyway, that's kind of the basic concept of a roll. You see he has defense of basically an epic die and a white die. That's wonderful. He's very good. He is, after all, Jack Burton. And I think I might be missing something. I think he starts with his knife, but I got to look that up. Anyway, here's his special ability. Now, we always have a choice. We have the special ability or we have the co-op ability. And you can see that when sharing a space with another hero, gain 1. But we're not going to do that. We're going to play with their standard special abilities on all the characters. And it says, it's all in the reflexes. If Jack would die in combat from strike back damage or from an enemy attack, instead, you may flip the special ability token to prevent all damage and immediately deal 1 hit back to the attacking enemy. This is the token. And it says, see, it goes over to spent. And that shows that we spent that ability. That's his ability. Now, what's cool about that is if you remember the movie where he faces off with the dreaded David Lopan, and Lopan throws the knife at him, and he catches it and throws it back. That's what that is. That's pretty darn cool. And I got to look. I don't know that if he starts with his knife or not. I don't remember if they start with an item. I think they do. That's what that means. But I'm going to double check. So yeah, I totally spaced out. He does start with this. You get to choose a upgrade card that they start with. Now, the upgrade cards also have the ability to be upgraded, which is awesome. That's what when you get the +1, that's what that means. And so Jack's knife, we're going to start with that. It allows you to reroll on all combat rolls. I think that's probably one of the more valuable things for him. And then we're going to move on to Wang. Wang is our next character, and you see his setup's a little different. His spirit is 2. He gets 1 for mind right here on an epic die, which Jack doesn't get. He gets 1 here, but not 2, and then it skips over. So slightly different setup. His defense are 2 white dice, and he's got for his card, he's got Wang's Jian. It's basically a sword, and it's got a +1. He basically, when he's in combat, he gets +1 die. That's pretty good. And in his special ability, my mind and spirit are 1. At the end of Wang's turn, you may flip your special ability token to take another turn. Reroll action dice and take an entirely new turn. So that's pretty good for him. And again, there's this ability token. That is Wang. Then we have Gracie Law. Now, up until the end of the movie, she really doesn't look like that. So I could have taken her spear as an item, but I didn't. I took something else instead. Let's take a look at her stuff. So you can see that she's not really strong in body. She needs to get 2 dice in there to slot a big die. But she's pretty good in mind. And she's okay here. She gets 1 yellow die in defense. Let's take a look at her ability. It says, don't panic, it's only me, Gracie Law. If Gracie would fail a skill check, instead you may flip your special ability token and automatically pass that check. Okay, that's really good. Plus, I gave her this. It's just me, so it's kind of like that. It says, one other hero in line of sight gains skill check +1 on their turn. So +1 die on a skill check. That's pretty effective. So she's the one that's going to help us with skills. Last but not least, we have Egg Shen, who I like a lot. He's the sorcerer. And you can see that he has a lot of mind. His 2 slots that come quicker in mind. Let's look at his special ability. It says, do you believe in magic? At any time, flip your special ability token to make any hero immune to all damage until the end of the round. That is really good. And then he's got his mirror fan. I don't remember using that in the storyline. He flips the fan open and reflects a bolt of energy back. He gets defense +1 yellow, so that gives him 2 defense. That's pretty good. And of course, these can be upgraded. When he gets the chance to upgrade an experience, he can upgrade his fan and make it 2 regular dice defense and has a special ability. So those are our heroes. Okay, let's take a look and see what can our heroes do. Well, yeah, let's do that next. We'll look at what our heroes are capable of. So this is the set of actions that we can do. We have yes, that is correct. Okay, so we have normal versus epic dice actions. So these are dice actions we can take. By spending a die, we can move. And so, for example, with Jack, if I'd spent his body, I would have an epic die in his slot. So I could move up to 3 spaces. On a normal move, it's 2. So we can spend a die for that. We can spend a die on combat checks. Gain 1 skill die for the combat dice pool. And if we have that's a regular skill die, which is white and looks like this. Okay. Now, if we had slotted in an epic slot, like we would, let's say if we used his body for combat, we would have one of these dice, these yellow dice instead. They're better. Okay. We can use it as a skill check. Gain 1 skill die for the skill check. Gain 1 epic die for the skill check. So when you're going to make a skill check, you want to kind of reserve the dice that you have. So you get more dice and more epic dice. Task action. Fulfill 1 task action by matching attributes. Well, what does that mean is the tasks actually need the symbol itself. The symbol doesn't necessarily represent how the action dice you get, but you actually have to place that to get a success on it. And there's no, well, it says fulfill, if it's epic, it says fulfill 1 task required any attribute. So an epic die can be anything. And that's how that works. Okay. And then rest. We can gain 2 health by spending 1 die, or 1 chi if you're at full health. That's pretty good. Or gain 3 health if it's epic. And those are the basic normal actions you can do. Then you have these free actions as well. You can trigger a quest token. That means you land on it. Now, the free actions aren't 100% free in the sense that if you have already spent all of your dice, you cannot take any of those free actions. So you have to try and do them before you spend all of your dice. And it says that there, but they can only be performed while you still have at least 1 unspent action die, or double attribute fate die remaining. So I'll show you what that means in a minute. Okay, so basically we can trigger quest tokens, open crates, use an item, or trade with another player. And those are the abilities that we have. So now let's take a look at the turn order itself. All right. I think you can see almost the whole thing there. That looks pretty good. All right. On a hero turn, we get to do, and now this is Act 1 only, we first draw a big trouble card, which is going to cause problems for us. Now on the first turn, when we draw a card, we don't actually activate everything on the card, we just spawn minions. And then we're going to not do the showdown quest card upkeep. We're going to choose the first player, and heroes take their turn in clockwise order from the choice of the first player. Once all that's done, we're going to move to the enemy phase, where minions are going to move and attack, bosses will move and attack. And then in the second act, this act where we're trying to fight Lopan, we will do something different. On a hero turn, it says if you have a hell card, check it for upkeep. That means hell cards are bad things. If we die, we don't die, we come back, but we visited one of the hells, many hells, and it's going to do something bad to us. And then we roll our action dice, we take all our actions, and we perform a fate check if a fate dice was used. And I'll show you what that does. And then it says in Act 1, if at any time during a round the threat token or audacity token progresses to the last space on the track, then we go to Act 2. And I'll show you what that looks like as well. In the Act 1, we want to try and get our cheat track up there before the big trouble track gets there, because otherwise it gives us problems on the quests and stuff that we didn't achieve. So that's basically how the action turns go. Now, I talked about these tracks. This is the big trouble track here, so it's going to wind up to that spot right there. And then on the other side, you see the audacity track. You see chi points as we go along. Again, chi is experience points. So as this track goes up, we're going to end up getting chi. If we get all the way to the top, we're going to get a plus 10 chi bonus, and it's going to give us some. It's going to be good for us going into the showdown. It means we did well. We actually had less big trouble than we did Audacity, which is awesome. And that's basically how that works. Now, the board itself. The board is seeded with a whole bunch of stuff on it already. You can see in the Dragon of Black Pearl, we have fortune cookies and casting bones. Now, what that means is we can spend any die to get those. And then over here, you see that we have, in the black market, we have Chinese fireworks and a huge buzz. We can do any of those there to get those tokens, and those all have special abilities, which we'll cover as we use them. Okay, and then that's not it, though. There's still some more stuff. Up here in the Egg Fu Young's Tours, we have Egg's Remedy and the Dragon Spell, which also do some cool things to us, and that's Egg's place right there. And we also have these crates floating around. I don't know if you can see them right there. You can in the street. These crates are placed out by quest cards that we have. And when we pick them up, then there's stuff under them. So there's a big stack of crate tokens that have stuff in them that we can use. Okay. So that's basically how all that works. Now the other thing we have are quests. Now we have two main quests up right now. These two right here, and one is for Jack and one is for Wang Shi. And then we have these minor quests that allow us to accomplish things. These tokens are out on the board. The minor quests are marked with these tokens here because they're in a specific place. So you can see that it says it starts on space 5 of the Wing Kong Trading Company. So we have that one. It also put us a crate on space 3. Now, we don't know what these do yet. When we get there, we activate the token, and we get to find out what we have to do to achieve that quest. You can see that we have 2 quests in the Wing Kong Trading Company and 1 in the White Tiger. That's pretty awesome. And then we have 2 main quests, and I'll show you up close what this one looks like. This is the Green-Eyed Beauty, and this is the one that we randomly chose for the game. And if you remember in the movie, Wang Shi was to marry a woman from China that was coming over, and she was the green-eyed beauty that could lift David Lopan's curse. I am spoiling things here, so if you haven't seen the movie or something, which I can't imagine you haven't, it's not a new movie. It's really old, and it's great. The starting location for this quest is at the Dragon of the Black Pool, so that quest is already there, and I'll show you that. That's actually very close to us, so we're probably going to go right after that. And as a reward, we get 2 to 6 Audacity. Or we get Audacity bonus for it, and we get Wang's Mind and Spirits are 1. Oh, wait. I gotta check that. Maybe he wasn't supposed to get that one yet. Hold on, I'm gonna double check that, but I think we're okay. Yeah, ignore my silliness. I'm just trying to make sure I do it right. Oh, basically, the quest card is in here. It's in here somewhere. Where is it? That's not it. But anyway, you gotta go through here and find the ones that show Jack. I'll get the rest of the quest cards out, or the reward cards out, and we will get the rewards for the correct people on them. And these are basically the ones for the. There's the matching ones. Reigns, the Tiger Claws. These are all the different things that you can get. So Jack gets all in the reflexes. I got to find that one as well, and we'll have that. So for example, if he got it, that's what he would get, is all in the reflexes. And we do have all that stuff available to us in the box. For example, here's. I'll just show you the back. I'm trying to show you the back of them so you can see what I'm talking about. Let's see. Where's Jack's? There's Wang Shi's, for example. Looks like that. And we have those to get to when we complete the main quests that we have. We also get bonuses for completing the starter quest. And I'll show you how that works as we play. That's the easiest way to do it. So I think really basically that kind of covers the basics. We have one more setup thing that we have to do to get going, since we pre-set up the quest deck. And when we get to monsters and bad guys and stuff, we'll come to that as well. As they appear on the board. So let's do one more thing, and then we're going to take our first turn. Actually, it's 2 more things, but the first thing we have to do is roll all of these dice and then place them here. We can use these, and there's an interesting mechanic here. These are fate dice. We can use these at any time to enhance what we're doing, but we have to roll it and correspond to this track and then place it. If it's all clear, we don't have to worry about it. But if it isn't, then when we place that, we have to do one of these bad things here, bad fate. But that's what we currently have available to us. So for example, this can count as 2 spirit. This counts as 2 hits, 2 mind, etc. So you get the idea of how that works. Okay, now there's one more thing that we have to do before we can actually start playing, and that's introduce you to the story. Okay guys, this is the main quest book. As you can see, it's got quite a few pages to it. This is going to take us through the story. There are spoilers in this, but frankly, if you've seen the movie, you're going to know most of the spoilers as they come up. But we're going to read the prologue. This is the quest prologue. It says, many years ago, the Chinese people came to America to start a new life in San Francisco. Chinatown, or Little China, has been home to a diverse culture steeped in ancient traditions and religions with ties to the mystic arts. It is here that the immortal ghost sorcerer David Lopan, godfather of the underworld, has built his evil empire. He uses the Wing Kong Trading Company and his minions to terrorize Chinatown. There is a resistance that have been fighting Lopan since his uprising, the Chang Sing Gang. They are the good guys, often clashing with the Wing Kong Gang to keep the streets safe. For years, the forces of good and evil have been balanced. Only recently that balance has shifted as Lopan came out of the shadows to lift a curse that has held his true powers at bay. He has sent his goons, the Lords of Death, to kidnap girls all over Chinatown in an effort to find the rarest prize which is needed to lift the curse, a Chinese girl with green eyes. As the fates would have it, Wang Shi, a small restaurant owner, was waiting for such a girl. He was at the airport with his old pal Jack Burton, a rough-and-tumble truck driver, waiting to meet his green-eyed beauty Mao Yin, so that they may soon be wed. It was then that the Lords of Death snatched her right out of the airport, with Wang and Jack giving chase. They stayed on their tail in Jack's truck, the Pork Chop Express, but lost them in the narrow streets of Chinatown. To make matters worse, they stumbled into a Chinese standoff, a gang war between the Wing King and the Chang Sing. I think it's supposed to be Wing Kong and the Chang Sing. They got out alive, but not without a run-in with Lopan and his mystical warriors, the three storms, rain, thunder, and lightning. Now Jack and Wang have gathered with their friends Egg Shen, Gracie Law, Eddie Lee, and Margot Litzenberger at Wang's restaurant, the Dragon of the Black Pool, to plan their next move. They know they must save Mao Yin and take down Lopan. Whatever they decide to do, it will surely lead to more big trouble in Little China. Boom! There we go, guys! And so it begins. So we're going to pick a first player, and then we're going to go basically clockwise around the table. I think we're going to pick Wang first. And the reason for that is because Wang has his quest token right here, so we can get started on the quest right away. And that means once he's done that, all the players can contribute and help him with his quest. So I think we're going to go with him first. But the first thing that we have to do to start off any turn is draw our big trouble card. Now we're only going to draw one of these a turn, not one, and everybody's going to take their action. Then we'll do the minions, and then this will happen again. Now in this first one, we're just going to place minions, but we're going to read the flavor story as well. Now normally our big trouble track would move up this much, but on the first turn it doesn't. Calm before the storms. Chinatown seems very quiet right now. Too quiet. Lopan's minions are nowhere to be seen. He must be planning something. So we would not do this, but we will look at this. So we are playing a 3 to 4 player game. So we're going to do both of these. So in space S4, that's Streets 4, by the way, we're going to place one Wing Kong 6-shooter and one Lord of Death. Let's get them out. So they have appeared right outside the Dragon of the Black Pool restaurant. There's a Lord of Death and a 6-shooter. Now, as bad luck would have it, we have basically so many minions in the game. And in a 4-player game, we convert 2 of them to hard minions. Well, guess what? The first 2 that come out are those. So we have a hard version Lords of Death and a hard version Wing Kong 6-shooter. That's their health. Now, we don't get to accumulate that. We have to do it in one turn to beat them. So this is going to be kind of rough for us. Now, good thing is they're outside here. They can't get in right away, but they will be coming after us. And so we have to be prepared for that. We'll cross that bridge when we come to it, right? So basically that is all that happens for this card is those 2 guys come out. As you can see, otherwise what we would have done is each hero with the active L cards may discard one. That's a good thing. And then we would spawn this stuff. But so far, that is it. And the Audacity in the Big Trouble check has not moved. Now, completing quests gives us audacity and stuff like that, so we got to get moving. I think, again, like I said, we're going to go with Wang Chi. So let's take a look at the player 8 again and look at the turn. So we're going to take our hero's phase first. We chose the first hero. we drew our big trouble card. We chose the first hero, and then we take their turns. Okay, in clockwise order. So we're going to start with Wang Chi. We're going to do these things. I'll put this right above his board, and we'll roll his dice and see what he's going to do. Okay, here's Wang Chi. Let's roll up his dice and see what he gets. He got a mind. Well, he got one of all three. That's interesting. So what are we going to do with that? Well, first off, we know we want to move. And I do think we want to move 3 so we can trigger his quest. And we can do that because in his body slot he can get an epic. So we're going to take the body slot and we're going to put it there for movement. Here's Wang Chi. He's going to go 1, 2, 3 over there. And that will be his action. Now you can see as a free action he can trigger a quest token. So he's going to do that, which is going to flip that over. And that's going to start something for us. So let's take a look at that. Okay, so we triggered the Green-Eyed Beauty quest. It says, starting at the location Black Pearl or Dragon of Black Pearl 3, which we're on, and these are the rewards that we can get to. It's 2 to 6 audacity in that, which we'll get to later. So we're going to flip that over, and we're going to put this on here. So we need to look at story event though 4-1, and this is called Decisions. Okay, so we have to get 2 mind to complete this first part. We have to get 2 mind. And 1 of these, and then we also have to complete 2 of any. So let's take a look at that story marker. He's probably not going to be able to do all of this yet, but we're going to give it a try. Okay guys, big spoiler alert here. Big spoiler alert. We're going to cover up these things right here with the card for right now until we start putting check boxes on it. But this is called Decisions. It says, place the event clip on 4.1 of the quest. We've done that. Okay. And it says, these last 5 years haven't been easy. I've worked my fingers till they bled, waiting for the day Mao Yin and I could be together again. And now, in the same minute that I see her creamy jade eyes, she's taken from me. I can't, no, I won't accept it. I gotta find a way to save her, but where to start? Okay, so that's pretty good. Now, here's the storyline. The Lords of Death have kidnapped Mao Yin, and you have no idea where in Chinatown they may be hiding her. You're in luck. The head of the Cheng Sing gang is having a dinner at your restaurant right now. If anyone might know where to start your search for Mao Yin, it is him. But he may not be too eager to help you out since you still owe him a gambling debt. So we get a choice here, and that's what the A and B is. So the first choice is treat the guy to a meal of his life and hope that sways him to help. And that means we have to get these task items. Or choose B. Hell, you already owe the guy. Why not just ask for another favor? Choose any 2 dice. Well, we know that with basically we cannot complete this, but we're really close, guys. So we do have an option. It's a good option, I think, but on the fate track we do have the 2 mind we could do, and that would also leave him with 1 extra dice. So we could, for example, we could take this, and instead of spending this one, which we could reserve for something else, we could spend that one to complete the quest. But then we're going to have to roll that fate die and put it on track. But man, I think that's worth it. What do you think, guys? We got to get the quest going, so we're going to do that. I believe we can. Let me just double check. I like to make sure I keep, especially early on in the rules, you know, as I'm playing a new game, I like to double check and make sure we're doing it right. So we're going to double check. Let me be right back. Okay, yeah, so I think what we're going to do is we're going to definitely take choice A, treat the guy to the meal of his life and hope that sways him to want to help. And how are we going to do that? Well, we know we have these dice left. This is what we have. We don't technically have this fate die yet. So we know we're going to slot one here, and that's going to put a quest marker token on the quest. So for example, and I will go into less detail on this later as we do this, but we'll check this one off. If we could stop there and spend our dice to do other things and come back to this and complete it at some point. But we're going to go crazy and use a fate mind die. This actually goes here and represents that we have 2 dice, right? 2 successes, which counts as 2 of these. So, as I understand it, now I've looked over this several times, and it says when you're using a fate die for such a thing, and I'll just double check it with you guys so you can see what I'm talking about. It says double mind, body, spirit. If you choose to use a double attribute dice, it must be taken before taking an action. So we're doing that now. A fate die with a double body, mind, or spirit is spent like an action die by slotting it into your hero board. Because it's a double, it doubles the result of the chosen action. If you use an epic slot, it doubles blah, 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 blah. You get the idea. So we're going to use it here, which is going to give us the effect of 2, which will allow us to put 2 more check marks on there and complete that task. So that is what we're going to do. Now, once I've done that, I'm going to have to roll this bad boy and see if something bad happens. But we're going to go crazy and start off with a bang and see if we can get the first part of Green-Eyed Beauty done. Okay, so it says, after 24 full courses of Uncle Chu's best and a few cases of beer, the debt is considered paid, and Chang Sing are ready to help. They have some ideas where you can start your search. Reward, +3 Chi, +1 Audacity, and continue reading the event conclusion. Okay, so what does that mean for us? It means that Wang is going to get +3 Chi, so that's going to put him up to 3. That's 3 experience points. If he gets up to here, he gets to level up, and then we get to put the Audacity track up 1. We're winning! Yeah, right. Okay, and then we're going to go on to the event conclusion, which is going to be on the very next page of this event. So let's take a look at that and see what happens next. It looks like there's going to be another choice. So we're going to have to see what that is. I'm not reading ahead, guys, so I just want to make sure I'm going to play this out where I don't get to know what these event choices do. And again, this is heavily spoilered. I put that at the beginning, and I noted it, so please keep that in mind. The event conclusion. The Chang Sing leader recalls that an old friend of yours now happens to work at the Wing Kong Trading Company. He tells you that she likes to hang out at the Jade Panda after hours, and if she's still fond of you, she might share some info, if she has any. He also mentions that there's been a lot of noise in the streets about the shady dealings at the Wing Kong Trading Company. It might be easier just to storm in there and take them by surprise. Okay, so we have choices. We got choice A and choice B. Choice A, I'm not reading ahead, but secret meeting at the bar or all-out attack on the Wing Kong Trading Company. I think we'll do the secret meeting at the bar. It says continue reading once your choice has been made. Place a quest token on the Jade Panda 1. Once triggered, read 4.2. Okay, so we're going to move this to 4.2, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it says, well, we haven't done that yet, so we're still on 4.1. And we get to slide, we get to take the token, the activated token, because it's complete now, and we're going to move it to the Jade Panda, which is way up at the top in space 1. So it is up here, where I placed it, right there, and that is going to end that event. And we took the first part of our quest. That's pretty cool. So we just did 4.1, and now once we get to that token, we will slide that clip down from 4.1 to 4.2 and continue on with our quest. You can see we have a skill check coming up, and then we have a randomness. We don't know what we're going to need to do for the final part of that check. But that was it. That's not the end of Wang Chi's turn yet either. So it is very likely that we're going to have to fight pretty soon. But I think what we're going to do in the meantime is we're going to use this last die here for an epic. We're going to slot it right there, and then we're going to move 3. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3. Wang Chi is moving on. He's heading toward the let me do that again just so you see it. We're going to go 1, 2, 3 to there. He's heading up toward the Jade Dragon to have the meeting, the clandestine meeting, right? So we're going to do that. Now Jack wants to get there too, because that's where his quest token is. And then Gracie and Fang and Egg Shen may end up doing the fighting on this one. We'll have to see. We'll have to see. All right, and I didn't have to make a skill check yet, so it might be that Gracie goes with Wang Chi so he can make a skill check. I'm not sure. But that's the end of his turn. So now that we've ended his turn, something else happens. We now roll this, and it is going to be a double spirit. We're going to place this right here, but because it was all clear, it has no effect. So that means these 3 points to all their heroes is not going to happen. Now, had we rolled, let's say, this dragon symbol, for example, we would place it there, and it would have the next effect, which is your hero loses 5 chi. So that is no bueno. By the way, to use that dragon symbol on this means it's a wild. It could be anything. That's pretty cool. All right, so that's going to be the end of Wang Chi's turn. So that is it for him. We're going to move on then to Gracie. She is going to take her turn next. Now, what is she going to do? There's a whole bunch of things. All our side quests are far away, so I don't think we're going to stay much in the Jade Dragon, but let's roll our dice. Or, sorry, not the Jade Panda, but the Dragon of the Black Pool Restaurant. So let's roll her dice, see what she gets. She got 2 body and a spirit. That's not great for her, actually. It's okay. Let's do this. With one of the bodies, she's going to place it in the slot, the first slot, which is not an epic slot, to move. And she's here, so she's going to move 1, 2. Then she's going to spend her spirit die to pick up an item. So we'll spend that spirit die. That is not an epic slot either, but we can do that because picking up an item from there can have any die in it. And she is going to pick up the casting bones. Now what does that do? The casting bones allow you to look at the next fate card in advance and put it on the top or the bottom of the deck. She's going to hold on to that for now. We're not going to use it right now. She's going to keep it. And then she has 1 more die. Being that it's an epic body, she's going to slot it there, which means it's going to be an epic slot, and we're going to move again. So Gracie will get to move 3. She'll go 1, 2, and 3. She's going to go help Wang. I think we'll send Jack to go out and do some fighting. I think that might be the best way to go. We'll see. But we're going to get on next to Egg Shen's turn. So he's up next, and we'll see what he does. We're going to have to roll his dice, too. See, I don't know if we're going to be in too much trouble from these guys, because they're going to have to come around the corner to come after us. The question is, can they get to us? Let's see. What's their movement? Well, he only's got a movement of 1, but they have a movement of 3. So they're going to get to, right now, they would get to Wang Chi. So I think what we're going to do with Egg is he can move outside and attack them. That might be the way to go because, well, anyway, let's roll his dice and see what happens. So here we are with Egg. Let's roll up his dice and see what he gets. He gets a body, a mind, and a spirit, so he gets 1 of each. About the worst things we could roll. He couldn't, okay, so he can move out there and use that spirit and the mind to get 2 dice to attack one of the guys there. And he could attack the Lord of Death, who could move far enough to get after him. And he would only need 3 hits. But 3 hits with 2 dice, not fantastic. Not fantastic. Or he can just move away too. Now that red door means that we can use it, but the minions can't. So these red doors, they can't get in or out of here. So if I stayed in there, they can't get to Jack and Shen and Egg rather. But I don't think that's going to be the way it's going to work for us. He does have a decent enough defense. Maybe we go do that. Maybe send Jack and him out and do some damage. Let's do that. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to slot this body right here because that's not his strong suit. That will give Egg 2 movement. So Egg's going to go 1, 2 into this space. And now we're going to have some combat, I think. So the first thing we have to do is attack and pick an enemy. So we're going to pick the Lords of Death. And we're going to take these 2 dice. Now, we're going to slot the Spirit. That is going to give us 1 of the epic dice. And then we're going to slot this one to get a regular die. And then we're going to roll them and see if we can take out the Lords of Death. Now, if we fail, we're going to take 2 points of damage as a strike back. So we'll see what happens. All right, Egg, come on. We just need 3 hits. What do we get? Oh, only 1. Do we have anything that we can do? Anything at all? Well, I think in combat, can I use one of the fate dice? We've been lucky with the fate dice so far. I believe I can use a fate die for an attack. If you choose a double attribute fate die, you have to take it before. If you used you may use these fate dice to, I don't know. If you use an epic slot, it doubles the result. So if I use the regular damage fate die, I think I can just take it, right? Let's just see. Automatic success. The automatic success fate dice must be taken after a skill check or roll to add to the success. So I can beat him right now by taking this die, which is the fate die that has the 2 hits on it that will allow us to defeat the Lord of Death and give us the bonus of 3 chi and not take a wound. Do I want to take the risk? I think we're going to take the risk. Why the heck not? Nobody has a lot of chi yet. We'll see if we get lucky. We're going to do that. We're going to take this guy down. So we have defeated our first enemy, the Lord of Death. He has been beaten. And then we will roll that. We're going to continue to finish our turn. We haven't quite completed our turn yet. Look at that. We're going to get 3 chi as a result. So we're going to go up to 3 chi. And that's going to end Egg's turn. So now we have to go roll that fate die and see what befalls us. Let's see what we get here. A 2. That means we do pay the price. Ah, that sucks. All other heroes lose 5 chi. Well, that happens, but the good news about that is only one person had any chi. That was Wang, so he goes down to 0. The bad news is he needs 2 more, and if they can't lose any more chi, I believe, I'll double check, but I'm pretty sure this is right, he takes damage. So that was not necessarily the luckiest thing, but we did defeat that Lord of Death and get him off the table. It's a good start, and an egg got some chi. So that is the end of that. Now these cards, these minion cards stay out there just for reference for us. Alright, that is going to be the end of Egg Shen's turn. Now we're going to go to Jack Burton. I think Jack is going to do much the same. Let's see what he can accomplish here. So he gets a mind, body, and a spirit. Seems to be my role. So first off, we're going to use, we only need to move 2, so we're going to use, we use this mind right here to move, which means we move boom, boom. Now here's the problem. The Wing Kong, the 6-shooter, I think is not somebody we want to tussle with. The Wing Kong 6-shooter is kind of nasty. He's hard. He needs 6. We need 6 points of damage. I don't know if I can get that with this particular roll. Maybe that's not the move for Jack. Egg's got good defense. Maybe I just leave Egg there and not make that move, because we can slot this for an epic. If I had 2 body, I'd probably do it, because that would give us 2 epic dice. But I think what we're going to do, yeah, we're not going to do that. I'm going to take it back. We're still going to use that to move 2. And we're going to go 1, 2. Okay. We'll use the spirit to pick up fortune cookie. And what does a fortune cookie do? It allows us to take 2 fate dice at the same time when we spend it. So we purchased a fortune cookie from the restaurant there, the Dragon of the Black Pool, and then we're going to slot our epic body die to move again. That'll give him 3 more movement. So 1, 2, and 3. Unfortunately, we left Egg Shen to fend for himself in regards to the Wing Kong 6-shooter, who, as you can see, is a pretty nasty dude. So of course we kill him, we get 5 chi. So we will kill him, I think, next turn if we slot everything and he just goes all out attack. Good old Egg. But now that is the end of all the players have taken their actions. So there's nothing left for the players to do. That means we're going to go to the enemy turn. Now let's look and see what that does. On the enemy's turn, we're going to move minions and attack if able. Then we're going to move bosses and move the threat. The threat token advances if we're on phase 2. We're not. So all we have to do right now is move some minions. We know that we have the Wing Kong 6-shooter in the space there, so we're not going to do that. He is simply going to attack at range with 5 points of damage. That is pretty rough for Egg Shen. We know that Egg is going to have 2 dice for defense. He's got a regular die, and you can see here, because of his mirror fan, he's got a epic die to also roll against the Wing Kong 6-shooter, who is now blasting away at him in the streets. He's deflecting it with his cool fan. Let's see how well he does with that. Now the odds of us stopping all 5 damage are not good. I don't know if we can even do it. There's a 3 on there, so see if we can get it. No, he only stopped 2, so he took 3 points of damage. Good old Egg. Which means we go 1, 2, and 3 down to 7. So that's basically the end of the enemy phase, because that was the only enemy on there. The next turn we would go to pulling our Big Trouble card. We'll do that in the next phase. Thanks for bearing with me in this first round, just getting used to the game. Again, this is a blind playthrough. I've read the rules, watched some videos. I know I'm going to love this game. So far, I'm digging it already. We may have put Egg Shen in a bit of a spot there, but I think he can manage. He's got stuff. He's got stuff. Now, remember, I could have stopped all the damage to him in that attack, but I don't see the point because we can still heal. We're fine. We're not in the worst trouble. It really depends on what happens when the next Big Trouble card comes out. But the rest of the heroes are heading toward a couple of things. There's a side quest at the White Tiger, and there's also 2 main quests at the Jade Panda. That's where we're going. So we might stop by Egg's shop to buy some stuff, but other than that, that's what we're doing. So as you can see, there's like a side quest here and the 2 main quests here. So we're heading up that direction. And then we can cut through and get some more quests and crates and stuff like that and gather up some things. Egg, you know, he might go to the Buddha Shrine, he might do a bunch of things after this, but right now he's just going to try to take on that 6-shooter and get him done. But anyway, that's going to be the end of our first round, guys, so thanks so much for watching. Thanks for subscribing, as always, and I hope you enjoyed this playthrough of Big Trouble in Little China. We made it through the first round, I think, without any real serious trouble. If I made any mistakes, please let me know. I'll see what I can do to correct them. And hopefully, and of course, by next turn, I already got this down. I feel pretty comfortable about how smooth this is going to go at this point. mechanically very straightforward game. I really enjoy it. This is a neat, I love the dice mechanics. It works well. It's very fast and fluid and easy to deal with, and I like the quest mechanics too. So we'll see how all this rolls out, man. So guys, thanks so much again. I will talk to you soon. Talk to you in the next episode. Now, for those of you who stayed through the end of this video and won prizes from me, please don't expect them to come out too fast. I got to get some stuff from the post office, some shipping supplies. I have them. I got to pack things up and get them shipped. It might take a little while, but I will get everything out to you, I promise. I just had a lot of stuff in the giveaway, so hopefully I'll get those out sooner than later. Take care, guys. See you in the next episode.